Have you ever felt the sting of betrayal, like a glass shattering suddenly beneath your feet, unexpected and beyond your control? That shock isn't just a fleeting emotion, but a hard lesson about trust and mindfulness. Trust, that invisible yet steadfast bond, forms the foundation of every relationship, from close conversations to a casual nod to a stranger. Today, we're diving into the complex web of these connections, learning how to recognize who truly deserves your trust and respect. This journey isn't about judging others, but about equipping yourself with wisdom to safeguard your inner peace in an unpredictable world. Through the lens of Stoicism, we'll explore 9 types of individuals who might appear close, yet subtly undermine your path to success and tranquility. The lesson here isn't about building walls or living in suspicion. It's about cultivating the discernment to welcome positive influences and steer clear of the negative. Stoicism teaches us to understand human nature and make wise choices about who is worthy to walk alongside us. If you appreciate what we're doing here and want to continue learning together, please do me a simple favor. Hit the subscribe button and stay tuned through the whole video for all the transformative insights. Let's get started. The manipulator, the hidden controller. Trust is the most precious asset you can give to someone, but in the hands of a manipulator, it becomes a tool of control and exploitation rather than a genuine connection. Manipulators are masters of using emotions to sway your mind, gradually taking away your autonomy and your self-confidence. They don't just impact your relationship with them, but also affect your other connections and mental well-being. Signs of manipulation. Manipulators employ various tactics to achieve their aims. 1. Creating guilt. They often play the victim or remind you of the favors they've done, making you feel obligated to repay. In this way, they indirectly push you to do things their way. 2. Undermining confidence. They sow seeds of doubt about your abilities and self-worth. When you start doubting yourself, it's easier for them to control and steer your thinking. 3. Comparing you to others. They compare you to others to make you feel less than. This makes you more likely to meet their demands in hopes of improving. 4. Mocking and teasing. They use words to instill insecurity, disguising it as jokes to make you feel inferior. 5. Gaslighting. This is the tactic of making you doubt your own perception. When you catch them lying or manipulating, they deny it, leaving you confused and unsure of what to believe. How to deal with manipulators. To protect yourself from manipulation, you need to set clear boundaries and stick to them. Here are a few ways to handle it. Limit contact. Reduce the frequency of interaction if possible, and keep conversations at a surface level. Avoid sharing too much about your personal life, as that can be used against you. Set firm boundaries. Manipulators easily exploit people's emotions and empathy. Define limits you don't want them to cross and hold firm to those boundaries. Stay calm and control your emotions. Manipulators thrive on creating drama and conflict to make you feel unsettled. Respond neutrally, avoid emotional reactions, and think carefully before agreeing to any of their demands. As Epictetus taught, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Listen closely, not just to what they say, but to what they don't say. The silence between their words and actions can reveal the truth. Trust is a precious gift, and not everyone is worthy of it. When you realize you're being manipulated, don't be afraid to walk away. Sometimes, the greatest courage lies in leaving behind those who abuse your trust to protect your inner peace. You are the artist of your life. Don't let a manipulator take the brush and paint a life you don't desire. 2. The constant critic, the peace breaker. Trust is invaluable in any relationship, but when you place your trust in a constant critic, it can feel like pouring water into a cracked vase. all your worth and confidence slowly leak away under relentless criticism. Constant critics are quick to point out flaws and constantly look for shortcomings rather than recognizing others' achievements. They are like a system error that disrupts the harmony and peace you work so hard to maintain in life. For them, criticism is a defense mechanism to avoid being judged themselves. They're often direct and confident, yet lack empathy. These individuals rarely acknowledge others' successes and fixate on weaknesses, especially when things don't go their way. As a result, working with a constant critic can make you feel pressured to prove yourself, carrying the weight of feeling wrong or not good enough. They can drain your energy and make the relationship tense and hard to sustain. How to deal with the constant critic. To preserve your inner peace, you can use these coping strategies. 1. Stay calm and objective. Don't let emotions pull you into a confrontation. When they criticize, respond with specific facts and remain calm. Avoid emotional back and forth, which only increases tension. 2. Don't take it personally. What they say often reflects their own insecurities more than your actual worth. Maintain emotional distance and don't take their criticism as an accurate assessment of you. 3. Set clear boundaries. Protect your boundaries and share your perspective honestly. For example, you might say, "I understand your viewpoint, but I don't find this approach helpful." This allows you to protect your stance while remaining professional. Redirect the conversation. Sometimes asking them to clarify can be helpful, such as saying, "Could you explain this more specifically so I understand?" This forces them to present clear insights rather than vague judgments. 5. Show empathy. Their critical behavior might stem from negative past experiences. Try acknowledging their efforts, which may help shift their focus from finding faults to recognizing positive aspects. Remember, their constant criticism is not a measure of your true value. Steering clear of this negative cycle is your choice for a more peaceful path. Don't let these criticisms become the background music of your life. Have confidence in yourself and your journey, for in the end, you are the one who defines your own worth. 3. The superficial friend, a passing breeze. They appear with a bright smile, the familiar "how are you?" and seem endlessly enthusiastic at gatherings. These social butterflies blend effortlessly into crowds, floating from person to person with charm, much like performers in a show of sociability. They're always there to add color to the fun, but when true sincerity and depth are needed, are they truly present? Probably not, as superficial friends pass through your life like a breeze, bringing a fleeting presence rather than a solid connection. While a true friend is someone who stands by you when the world turns its back, a superficial friend stays only while the spotlight shines. These people can easily merge into any crowd, maintaining a smooth rhythm in every conversation, but that is just a mask of closeness. Their presence seems more like part of a routine than a mark of sincerity. As the philosopher Seneca once said, "True friendship is always calm. Superficial friends may remember your birthday, join you at social events, but when life gets tough, they're likely absent." To maintain peace of mind, we must realize that not everyone is destined to be a lifelong companion. As psychologist Karen Kwong explains, these low-risk friends actually bring their own benefits. They allow you to relax and enjoy light-hearted moments without the need to share burdens. This is the type of friend to join you for an art exhibit or a city stroll, but not someone you turn to when you need a shoulder to lean on. How to enjoy superficial friendships in a healthy way. These relationships don't require much effort, which is precisely their strength. You can appreciate the lightness they bring, but remember to set realistic expectations. 1. Accept the limitations. Don't expect superficial friends to be there in times of hardship. They are companions for short outings, not the ones to stay up all night listening to your heartache. 2. Keep it casual and light. This type of social bond doesn't demand high commitment. You're free to share small joys without having to tackle deeper issues. 3. Recognize their true role. Superficial friends can make your life more interesting through fresh experiences. See them as sources of relaxation and exploration, but not necessarily with long-term expectations. In life, not every relationship needs depth or sacrifice. Some people will be there when everything is perfect and easy, adding laughter and joy. You can be happy when they appear and unbothered when they drift away. This way, you can enjoy social life while keeping your peace intact. Treasure those true friends who stand firm through life's storms and hold them close. As for the others, let them drift along with the flow of life like faint clouds across a wide sky. 4. The distracted listener. The connection thief. Imagine you're sharing a meaningful story, but the listener only nods absent-mindedly, eyes fixed on their phone instead of on you. The distracted listener, a far too familiar sight in today's world, is physically present but mentally absent. They may nod or smile, but their thoughts are drifting elsewhere, perhaps to a work email, a social media notification, or even tonight's dinner. Interacting with them feels like talking to a foggy mirror. No reflection, no connection. Why are they so easily disconnected? In an age of information overload and digital distraction, the distracted listener is almost a symbol of our time. As Seneca said, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." They remind us of the importance of genuine presence, the power of attentive listening, and the value of meaningful interaction. When you share deep thoughts and the other person is engrossed in their phone, it feels like talking to a wall, no response, no connection. This not only affects mutual respect, but also erodes the bond between you. If someone can't look away from their screen to listen to you, why should you make the effort? Life is too short to be background noise to someone else's screen time. What to do when faced with a distracted listener? When encountering someone who isn't truly listening, don't let yourself feel diminished. Respect your own time and value by stepping back or redirecting the conversation. As Marcus Aurelius said, "It's not that we have little time, but more that we waste much of it." Don't let a distracted listener turn your conversation into a forgettable moment. Conversation is an art of sharing and connecting. If someone can't offer you the attention you deserve, be wise enough to keep your time for those who genuinely want to listen. 5. The unempathetic. Strangers in a connected world. The unempathetic are those who cannot or will not understand others' emotions. To them, others' joys and sorrows are distant concepts with no real significance. Instead of empathy, they often resort to criticism, blame, or even mocking others' feelings. They may dismiss such emotions as signs of weakness or oversensitivity, brushing them aside with indifference. Key signs of the unempathetic person. 1. Criticism and judgment. They criticize others' feelings, claiming they deserve it or blaming them for what happened. 2. Lack of understanding. They have no interest in others' circumstances, often believing they could handle things better, so they see no need to understand someone else's pain. 3. Dismissal of emotions. They downplay others' feelings, frequently concluding that others are too sensitive or overreacting. 4. Cold reactions. When someone expresses sadness or stress, they may respond with ridicule, indifference, or even seem pleased when others struggle. 5. Lack of awareness of their impact. They fail to recognize, or simply don't care, that their behavior might hurt others. 6. Difficulty maintaining relationships. Due to their lack of emotional connection, they struggle to sustain long-term, meaningful relationships. A lack of empathy is more than just a warning sign. It reminds us to proceed with caution. Trust is like a fragile bird. When given to those who lack empathy, it can be shattered as easily as a delicate egg. A Stoic philosopher once said, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." Unempathetic people focus solely on their own interests, with no regard for the community or those around them. Interacting with self-centered individuals often leaves us feeling frustrated and drained. Trusting them is like handing over a map to your vulnerabilities, an inherently risky act. As followers of Stoic principles, our challenge is to recognize these individuals early on and maintain a safe distance to protect ourselves from negative influence. Our goal isn't just to avoid harm, but to build a community where compassion and trust are valued. Living with awareness and caution not only safeguards us, but also fosters an environment where empathy and trust become the lasting foundation for all meaningful relationships. If you find something useful or inspiring in this video, feel free to hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. We'd love to hear your thoughts, even just a quick "keep it up" in the comments. 6. The Troublemaker, the perpetual provocateur. You've likely encountered the type of person who seems to live for causing frustration, creating waves out of the smallest issues. They never miss an opportunity to light a fuse. Every word, every action feels like an arrow aimed directly at your peace. This type of person is like an emotional ninja, expertly sowing irritation in subtle, calculated ways. They tend to be overconfident, never doubting themselves, and are always ready to respond with a smirk or a comment that ignites conflict. They provoke others in such an artful way that sometimes you wonder if you're truly being provoked. Don't let yourself get drawn into their game. This is their stage, where they seek to pull you into their provocations. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When faced with a troublemaker, keep this wisdom close. They may try to pull you into their chess game, but you have full control over your mind, a private space they cannot reach. When they attempt to disrupt your peace, stand your ground without engaging. Simply step back and let their words pass like the wind. Be the calm center in their storm, an unmovable anchor of tranquility. Your true strength lies in your ability to rise above provocation with poise and resilience. Next time you encounter a troublemaker, just offer a gentle smile, nod, and move on. You're playing a different game, the game of wisdom, peace, and inner strength that no one can shake. 7. The eternal victim, the life's storyteller of woe. Be cautious when dealing with those who perpetually play the victim, a familiar character in the drama of life, seemingly trapped in an endless cycle of misfortune. These individuals typically hold 3 core beliefs. 1. Bad things always happen to them. They believe life brings only misery. 2. It's always someone else's fault. They avoid personal responsibility, blaming others or circumstances. 3. Change is pointless. They think any attempt to improve life is a waste of time. Perpetual victims are like actors in an ongoing tragedy, adding new plot twists of misfortune each day. They wear their suffering as a badge of honor, yet they choose to remain stuck, viewing every hardship as an unchangeable destiny. Complaining becomes their comfort zone, and they endlessly repeat stories of sorrow as if fate has set their course. Ironically, many of their troubles are the result of their own choices. Like a captain ignoring the compass, they steer their ship into storms and then wonder why the seas are never calm. Marcus Aurelius said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." This is especially true for those who see themselves as victims. Their story becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, locked in pessimism and inaction. How to handle the perpetual victim? Helping others is a noble act. But when faced with this type of person, you must balance compassion with self-preservation. Be empathetic, but stay grounded. If you dive too deeply into problems they've created, you risk being pulled into their negative cycle. When encountering someone who constantly sees themselves as a victim, remember that you are in control of your own journey. The seas of life may be unpredictable, but you can steer your ship in your desired direction without getting drawn into someone else's storm. 8. The two-faced, masters of masks in life's theatre. On the journey to understanding human nature, we will encounter chameleons, those who wear many masks. They easily charm us with smiles and sweet words, but don't let that deceive you. Once your back is turned, they won't hesitate to stab coldly, damaging your reputation. These individuals skillfully weave webs of gossip, not just about you, but about anyone around them. Signs of a two-faced person. 1. Fake enthusiasm, lacking sincerity. The two-faced person always keeps a smile and appears eager, but their eyes and words don't quite align. Their overly cheerful smile often lacks authenticity. 2. Gossiping behind your back. They may spread rumors or intentionally diminish others, causing division and harm to the relationships around them. 3. Enjoys hearing and sharing. Bad news. When they hear about someone's misfortune, they feign sympathy but secretly delight in it, revealing a jealous, self-centered personality. 4. Seeks validation by putting others down. They crave attention and love to boast, often overshadowing others to stand out. 5. Never admits fault. The two-faced rarely take responsibility for their mistakes, opting instead to blame others and dodge accountability. How to handle a two-faced person. Recognize their nature. When you realize someone is insincere, keep this in mind and avoid sharing too much personal information or important goals with them. Keep secrets and limit sharing plans. A two-faced person may use the information you provide to undermine or exploit you, so always keep the important things to yourself. Don't overreact. Overreacting to a two-faced person only disturbs your own peace and can pull you into their game. Stay calm and grounded to keep your mind steady. Express your view directly. If you notice dishonesty, address it gently yet clearly, letting them know you're not easily manipulated. Maintain distance. When necessary, two-faced individuals rarely change, and sometimes the best choice is to keep your distance to protect your peace. Although it may be difficult, it's essential for preserving stability. Two-faced people are like skilled actors on a stage, but this stage isn't fiction, it's real life. As the philosopher Seneca advised, associate with those who make you better. Don't let yourself get entangled in their web of deceit. Instead, surround yourself with those who inspire genuine connection. When you recognize a two-faced person in your life, be decisive and move on. This isn't cruelty. It's wisdom in preserving your honor and inner peace. A friend who betrays your trust is more dangerous than an open enemy, because trust is the foundation of every relationship. When that foundation wavers, everything else becomes unstable. Be strong, make the clear choice, and move toward an authentic life where loyalty and sincerity are cherished. 9. The toxic person, the peacebreaker in relationships. Trust is precious and should not be given away easily. When it comes to toxic individuals, remember that they are never worthy of your trust. They're like a dark cloud suddenly appearing on a sunny day, bringing negative energy with them. A toxic person gradually erases your smile, replacing it with anxiety and unease. Imagine carefully building your self-confidence, only for a toxic person to come along, ready to tear it all down with their negative words or actions. Signs of a toxic person. 1. Violates personal boundaries. One of the most obvious signs is their complete disregard for the boundaries you've set. Even after repeated requests to stop, they continue doing as they please, showing no concern for your feelings. This is a major warning sign about their character. 2. Attempts to control others. Toxic people often feel out of control in their own lives, so they seek to control you to satisfy their insecurities. They use subtle manipulation or direct pressure to make you feel helpless and dependent on them. 3. Always plays the victim. A hallmark of a toxic person is their ability to turn every situation into an excuse to blame others and justify themselves. They constantly play the victim, spinning stories to gain sympathy and avoid taking responsibility. 4. Never admits fault. Toxic individuals always believe they are right and never admit mistakes, even when presented with clear evidence. They will find every excuse to justify their actions, showing no remorse for the harm they cause others. 5. Takes without giving. A healthy relationship includes mutual support and sharing, but for a toxic person, it's all about taking. They constantly demand help from you without ever thinking to give back, making the relationship one-sided and draining. 6. Habitual lying. A toxic person rarely tells the truth, and lying becomes a regular tool. They create fake stories to manipulate, cover up facts, and make it difficult for you to distinguish between reality and deception. How to handle a toxic person. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Dealing with a toxic person can feel like navigating a boat through stormy seas. You can't control the rough waves, but you can learn to ride them and protect yourself. Here are some strategies to help safeguard yourself from toxic individuals. 1. Have a direct conversation. Sometimes, toxic people aren't aware of the negative impact they have on others. If you feel it's necessary, try a sincere conversation and share your feelings. This may help them realize the harm they're causing. 2. Don't try to change them. Our instinct is often to help others, especially those we care about. However, trying to change a toxic person only prolongs the negative cycle and disrupts your own peace. Maintain distance and avoid getting too deeply involved in their issues. 3. Avoid getting caught in their drama. Toxic people tend to attract drama and create negative outcomes in every situation. Keep your distance and only engage in conversations when truly necessary, steering clear of the whirlwind of their problems. 4. Cut off the relationship if necessary. Sometimes the best way to preserve your peace and mental health is to end the relationship with a toxic person. You don't need to explain yourself excessively. Stand firm in your decision and set clear boundaries. Trust is the foundation of all meaningful relationships, and it's important to place it in those who deserve it. Think of trust as giving someone the key to your home. You would only give it to someone who has proven they will respect your space and take care of it, not someone who would turn it into chaos. This requires wisdom and discernment in recognizing who is trustworthy and who should be kept at a distance. Toxic people can test our patience and compassion, but rather than getting drawn into their negative spiral, remember that you have the power to choose who you keep in your life. Be wise and selective about who deserves your trust and affection. Don't hesitate to keep your distance when needed. Protecting your trust, peace, and joy is essential. Give these values to those who appreciate and bring positivity into your life. Thank you for joining Philosophic Stoic today. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any valuable insights on applying Stoicism to modern life. Don't forget to watch the next video to continue enriching your life with Stoic wisdom. Thank you for being a part of our community. Until next time, stay wise and stay serene.